Boy, new revelations from U.S. Secretary of State Defense Secretary Ash Carter during his visit to the Philippines. He says the allies have been conducting joint patrols in the South China Sea since last month. The Pentagon chief also announced some U.S. troops will stay behind after joint exercises conclude. CCTV's Nathan King joins me with the latest. Boy, a lot to talk about, Nathan.
Yes, and this is a big boost to the numbers they'd already announced. The U.S. Secretary of Defense announcing that a force of 300 U.S. troops, including Air Force commandos, combat aircraft and helicopters, will remain behind in the Philippines through the end of April. This comes after Manila asked their ally Washington to help convince China not to assert its sovereignty over the Huanan Island, which the Philippines calls the Scarborough Shoal. And at a news conference in Manila, Ash Carter said the moves were all part of a wider U.S. rebalance in Asia and should not be seen as provocative.
These patrols will continue to help build our interoperability and improve the Philippine Navy, even as these patrols contribute to the safety and security of the region's waters.
Now, there will be some alarm that the U.S. is already going above and beyond the recently inked Enhanced Security Agreement with the Philippines. That agreement gives the U.S. access to 5 bases in its former colony, as well as rights to rotate in ships and aircraft. This comes, of course, as the U.S. continues to operate what it calls freedom of navigation operations. They involve U.S. Navy ships intentionally sailing within 12 nautical miles of islands and features claimed by China, a zone which is traditionally used to define maritime boundaries. So a lot going on, a lot happening quite quickly.
So, Nathan, I imagine Beijing is not happy about this. What are they saying?
Yeah, and lots of reaction in the last couple of days. The Chinese Foreign Ministry basically calling this hypocritical. Both nations have accused Beijing of militarizing the South China Sea, but China's basically saying this is exactly what the US and its allies are doing. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, also speaking to CCTV, says there's hypocrisy in the Philippines' unilateral move at The Hague to get an international tribunal to dismiss China's sovereignty claims in the South China Sea, while at the same time, Philippines moving to bolster its position militarily in the region. Let's listen.
We are not going to participate in any way in this case, and we are not going to accept the results, what kind of result it might come out from this arbitration case.
Now, ruling from The Hague on its interpretation of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea is expected in the next few weeks, within the next few weeks, and could result in more tension. That convention, by the way, has been signed by China, but the US has not ratified it.
All right. CCTV's Nathan King.
Thanks
Thank you, Nathan.